How to live, work, and study in Qatar. This is a question that was asked to me exactly how I have phrased it by Moses Walker. So Moses Walker, this video is for you and for many others who would want to know about this. So before we continue, how are you guys? How are you guys doing? I hope you are doing amazing. I am doing great. I cannot complain. Thank you so much for clicking into this video. If it is your first time to be here, my name is Frecia, and please consider subscribing down below because that is what you're supposed to be doing right now. Also, if it is not for your first time to be here, welcome and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much guys for clicking into the video. And of course, I always give you the information that you want to hear. You ask me a question, I give you the answer. You ask me for something, I will do my research and I will bring it to you here. Okay, so now this question was asked from a perspective of someone who wants to come to Qatar, either to live or to work or to study or all of the above. Okay, and so now, yes, this is possible. That's what I'll start by saying. It is possible, and I'll take you guys through how it is, how you can make it possible. Okay, so now let's start. How can you live in Qatar? Getting a job in Qatar. So getting a job in Qatar is a process, and it is a process where you can do by yourself or you can use someone to help you. We have agencies who are out there in each country that help people to come and get jobs here in Qatar. So you can use the agency to get a job in Qatar, or you can use by your own means by applying the jobs online. That is where we start from. Getting a job in Qatar, you have to do the applications first. You can't just get a job just like that. So I have mentioned before of how you can get a job, but for the sake of this video, for the person who is watching this video for the first time, let me go through the ways that you can get a job here in Qatar. So number one, you can apply for the jobs online using the websites like LinkedIn, Indeed, and the others. Number two, you can use someone who you know here and tell them to refer you to their company which is hiring. You can use it. That is, we call it direct referral. Like if in my company they're hiring right now, I can refer you to the company. I go and talk to the company and tell them I have a friend, I have a brother, I have a sister who wants to come and work with us. Please, if you can consider them, I would really appreciate. When I mention this, people come down to the comment section and tell me to connect them to my job. I cannot do that because I do not know you, and also recommending someone to a company comes with commitments and repercussions. Okay, I can't just bring a stranger because there is some documents you'll have to sign, and you know, to make sure that the person who you're bringing is someone who is good and cannot let you down, cannot damage the company's reputation and all that. So I cannot do that to strangers or to people who I do not know. You may come here and damage my own reputation and my company's reputation. So please do not tell me to call you to my company for now. Actually, they're not hiring. So yeah. And then the other way you can get a job is using the agencies who get jobs for people and then you pay them and bring you here. Another way you can get is by Facebook pages. You follow the Facebook pages, like for the people who come from the country that you are in, like Nigerians in Qatar, Kenyans in Qatar, Ugandans in Qatar, whichever the country you're coming from, you follow those pages, and then sometimes people will post jobs there that they know the companies are hiring from this side of Qatar. So you can follow the pages and then you keep asking or keep following up if there are job updates from that side. That way you can get a job. Okay, so now we are assuming that you have gotten a job already and you're here in Qatar. How can you live in Qatar? First of all, Qatar will only make you a resident, but they cannot make you a permanent citizen or a citizen. Okay, no matter how many years you spend here, you can never become a Qatar citizen. You can only become a resident, and becoming a resident is by getting a Qatar ID. We call it a Qatar ID or a residence permit that will always expire after 1 year. So when you come here, you come with a visa. Okay, you are new, so you'll use a visa to come here, a work visa in that sense, because you came here to work. And when you come here with a work visa, you will get a residence permit. Residence permit is the same as Qatar ID. There is an ID. My ID is not around. I will have showed you guys. And now after 1 year, every 1 year from the day you arrived in Qatar, they will be renewing your residence permit or your ID the same day next year. Every other year you will be renewing your Qatar ID or your residence permit. So that is how you can live here in Qatar as a worker, and as a resident. You cannot live here if you're a tourist. You're not allowed to live here. You can only come visit and then go after your time is done. You cannot live here if you came with a family visa. You cannot live here with a family visa. You either have to get a job, change your visa, get a work visa, and get a residence permit. So that is how you can live here. You can live here for as many years as you want. You can change the jobs to the jobs that you want. Maybe the first time you came here, you came with a job, but it was not really the job that you wanted. You got here, you work for this job that brought you here, and then get to apply for the jobs that you would really want to have. And then when you get the job, now you can live here as much as you want. Can you bring family members here in Qatar? That is another question that I always get. Or somebody texts me or asks me a question, I want to bring my wife and kids there. Is that possible? First of all, it is not as easy as you think, but it is possible. But we have conditions and we have what do I want to say? Like, we have things that you have to get before bringing yourself here or your family, mother, father, and all that. It's not like in Europe countries where you feel like they say that some countries when you finish like 6 months, you can invite your parent, you can invite, all that. No, here you can also invite them, but you have to have, like, I'll just mention a few things that you need to have before bringing someone here. You need to be a resident, okay? You need to be a resident. The second thing, you need to have salary of a specific limit. You should have at least 7,000 riyals salary, and your company should be providing an accommodation for family, okay? That way you can bring them. And the other option is, if the company is not providing the family accommodation, you should have at least 10,000 to 15,000 salary here in Qatar. In riyals, okay? So that is another thing that you should be having when you want to invite some relatives here in Qatar. So now that's how you can live here in Qatar. After you get the work, you live here for 6 months and then invite your relatives if you have the above conditions that I have just said. And I will advise you to do more research in the MOI portal. It will give you all the details that you want to know if you want to invite a relative. And also, I have done that research for you and shoot a video about that, and it was some times back. So if you scroll down to my videos, you can get that information clearly, okay? And then now, once you have gotten the job and you have lived here in Qatar, you have found means to live here in Qatar as a resident, either by yourself or with your family members who you want to bring in. Now is about studies. Are you working here and you'll want to do studies here? It is possible for you. Are you living here with you and your family and your kids and everyone and you want to do studies here? Yes, you can do it. So for the people who we are only working here and living here as workers, we also do the studies. We also do the courses. What are you required to have for you to do schooling here in Qatar? I will emphasize on the institutes that we have here in Qatar, but not the universities. I do not have enough research for the universities, but for the institutes which give you short courses, that one I am pretty sure of what you need. So you need to have a residence permit. A residence permit is a Qatar ID, the one that I just explained. You need to have that, and that only. You go present it to the institution, tell them what you want to do, the courses they're offering, choose the course or do what you want to do, and then now you pay the money and that's it. They will not need to know if you have ever done the course before. They will not need to know if you have ever sat in a class before. As long as you know English, you understand what you're doing, and you'll want to do this course, it is okay. They don't care the level of education that you reached when you're in your country. When you come here, you are an adult, you have an ID, and you want to start afresh. And that's why they give you an opportunity of doing that thing from scratch. You'll just go pay the money of the school fees and show them your residence permit, and then you will do the studies. So some people also, sometimes they do not have the residence permit. Maybe it has taken long to come out. Maybe you want to study immediately when you get here. You can also provide them with your passport, traveling passport. Some institutes will allow that. Of course, you'll have to know what institute you want to work with or you want to study to in, and then after that you will call them and check them out, ask them the requirements and everything. Yes, you can study here, you can live here, you can work here in Qatar. Moses, I hope I have answered your question. I hope everybody who will have wanted to know this information, I have answered the question properly. And if you have not, Moses, if you still have other questions, or you other person who is watching this video and you still have another question about this, kindly ask in the comment section. I will reply to you, and if it's something that needs to be, you know, recorded and put as a video, I will do that for you guys. Of course, I always want the best for you. I want you guys to come here. And that is also another good question that was asked. What I always advise people, when you get here, get something to do. We have a lot of work, a lot of time to waste here in Qatar. Most of us are working for 8 hours, maybe when they go more, 9-10 hours. So we have some time to do extra things. Most of us are here on day offs on Fridays. These institutes, they give you even classes. You don't have to be physical. Sometimes you are busy at school or at work and you don't have time to go to the classes. They have online classes. They have physical classes. They have like 1 time, 1 week classes. So you only go the day that you are off. You just have to agree with them. And then after all this, you'll get a certificate. And most of them are international certificates. And if not international, you'll get a certificate that can get you a job here in Qatar, get some experience, and then get another job outside the country if you wish to. So this was a very good and necessary question, and I hope I have answered it correctly. You're here. Thank you so much, guys, for always watching my videos, always supporting me, and always asking questions. I'm always here for you. I'll give you the feedback as I know, and as much as I can do research, I will do it for you. Thank you so much. Please consider subscribing down below if you have not yet already. And if you have, thank you so much for the support and love and care. I really, really do appreciate that. Let's not lie on the opportunities, and let's learn to do more on creating more experiences, creating more, you know, skills. It is important. Let us meet on the other video. Thank you so much, guys. Let me go now. Until the next one. Bye-bye.